Hello everyone, and welcome to the inaugural episode of the G1 podcast. My name is Brent. I will be leaving all of my social media information in the description of this podcast in case you want to get a hold of me. And welcome to this New Japan Pro Wrestling podcast. I've been watching the product since Wrestle Kingdom 9 now, and I'm just so engrossed in it. It's such a breath of fresh air every time I watch it. I've just grown really fond of these characters and doing research on them. That's one thing I would like to do on this is maybe highlight one wrestler every week. I'd like this to be a weekly show. I would like to highlight one of those old dads coming down to the ring and beating up the young lions. I'd like to focus in on one of those, and I wouldn't say that I am a wealth of knowledge on this scene, but between me doing my research and possibly a community outreach, people helping me, pointing me in this direction, I think we could have a pretty awesome resource here and really focus and you bring a lot of attention to the Yuji Nagata's past, Togi Makabe's past, early Suzuki matches, what happened to cause the exile, all of this, and I'm almost gonna have to bring in stuff from like Noah and Big Japan and All Japan, just to kind of coincide with everything. So that's gonna be an interesting challenge. I have been thinking about getting onto DDT. As well as Big Japan. I hear that they have a streaming service now, so it's definitely challenging, especially getting onto those. I'm sure there's plenty of resources out there to help with that. I suppose I should start with some of my favorite aspects of it. It's just the violence. And I know I might sound like a monster saying that, but it's just so visceral, so real. Every hit, it smacks. You can really feel it, and they seem to be putting a lot of emphasis on like extra pressure on the body, extra this and that, and applying pressure. It looks brutal whenever this stuff happens. Zack Sabre Jr. Applying those the octopus stretch. Oh my goodness! Every time Marty Scurll does it, I know rumor is that it's his arms kind of I just smacked my mic, kind of smacking against his chest when he does that. But God, every time that you hear that smack when you do the finger split, it just it gets me. I got some of that out of the way. Some of my favorite New Japan professional wrestlers currently. I am a ridiculous mark for Minoru Suzuki. He is possibly my favorite thing going right now. And I say that looking at a trading card of Okada that I have from G1 24. So I'm also a big Okada mark, big time. Aside from them, I really enjoy Tomohiro Ishii. Sometimes I go between you know who I'm talking about. I'm sure there is a right and a wrong way, but I just, focus on it happens. Who else? Of course, Tanahashi. I'm doing a lot of research on him over many years, and just the wealth of work that he's done for this company, the amazing matches, and he still go to that Wrestling Dontaku match recently was outstanding. When he went up for that second high fly flow, like I knew Tanahashi had no chance of winning this, but when he went up for that, I got excited. I thought he might get it, and only very few people like him can elicit those feelings from people in a situation like this. I feel, and who else? Of course, Kenny Omega and the Golden Lovers are top tier, fantastic. The wrestling god. I just about blew my mind when I was watching live and Okada called out Kenny Omega. I freaked out. I texted all my friends. I said, okay, we need to watch Dominion live. We can't miss out on this at all. Because if there ever was a time for Okada to drop the belt, it could be now. This could be it. We could be witnessing changing of the guard going into the show at the Cow Palace, the G1 special, and leading into the G1, which that is something else I'm very excited about with this podcast. I don't know if you've noticed, it is named the G1 podcast, and I fully intend to live up to that reputation. I will probably be toying with the idea of putting up YouTube videos as well of this. Probably just me mixed in with various pictures or GIFs or stuff that I can find, and just try to go from there and see where this leads. I'm very excited as I just have all of this New Japan passion just bottled up in me, especially since I spent the last couple G1s watching them, and it's, oh my god, it's intense. It's so many hours of wrestling in so few days. I'm really excited for this year's G1. Looking up just the contestants in last year's G1. I'm just going to read them off real quick. Block A is Naito, Tanahashi, Fale, Goto, Ibushi, Zack Sabre Jr., Ishii, Makabe, Yoshihashi, and Yuji Nagata. Now, I feel that a majority of that will stay the same. Yuji Nagata is out. I am almost positive Jay White is going to be taking that role. And might be looking to fit in Hangman Page in here as well. They seem to be pretty high on him. Makabe is going to be still be on there. Yoshihashi, most likely still in there. He's a good body to have in there. Block B, Kenny Omega, Okada, Evil, Suzuki, Tama Tonga, Sanada, Juice Robinson, Yano, Michael Elgin, and Kojima. Kojima's a maybe. Kojima-san has been recovering from an injury. Leader of the Bread Club seems to be doing well, but we will see. Hopefully it doesn't come back too early, and trying to think too funny, but we'll see what happens. Well, let's say Kojima's out, we could easily put in Hangman Page. If not him, see, I was almost thinking we could put the Bucks in here somewhere, which you probably could if you squeeze out Elgin and Yoshihashi. And I could also see Killer Elite Squad, Lance Archer, and Davey Boy Smith getting in there too. They have been a lot more prominent over there in Japan recently, I feel. And I think they might be rewarding them for that. I don't know if you can call being in the G1 a reward necessarily. But I'm very excited about that. I'm going to get just a little taste of recording things like that with the upcoming Best of the Super Junior tournament. This is just a little preamble. This is just a little build up, a little lead in for what I'm looking forward to being a continuous coverage of these events, and on weeks not having events, just doing something to cover, keeping up on maybe a retrospective here and there. I really like the idea of that. Those seem like a lot of fun, really educational for me personally, and for people looking to get into New Japan. I am your intermediate guide. I know enough to feel confident leading new people in. And I know enough to know that I have a lot more to learn about this, and which I'm really excited about. I'm very excited about watching more matches. I've been dabbling around with Mr. Lariato on Twitter. Posts has 1,500 essential New Japan matches, and I've been trying to watch through some of them. I haven't gotten to all quite, but watching old Antonio Inoki matches that are just straight up feel good propaganda almost. Inoki will always forever look strong, and I totally get why he people revere him as a legend, and he certainly was. And I'm still reminded quite vividly of the, was it 1993 at Wrestling Dontaku, I believe, where Hulk Hogan, in his non-brother voice, referred to the IWGP Heavyweight Championship as the most important title in wrestling. I feel like that pretty much says it all right there. I still do watch WWE, and I probably will review some of the big stuff, probably the big four, big five, maybe if a certain event here or there is good, maybe I will just do like a weekly or monthly recap. Yeah, I might just do like a pay-per-view recap on these things, and it'll be however long or short it ends up being. I would like to keep it to maybe the 30-minute to an hour long spiel about this. I feel like that's a pretty decent chunk to listen to, especially getting into this. I figure a lot of repetition with that G1 because I'm the kind of person, I'll watch all the opening matches, so all the 5-man, 5-on-5, 3-on-3, I love it. Give me more. I love them. All the storytelling in there, seeing special matchups. I'm a big fan of those. Those haven't gotten old for me yet. I will say, listening to some of the more jaded fans, some of the more jaded podcasts, it definitely sounds like there's a burnout point, but so far I haven't hit it. I still don't roll my eyes every time I see Azuka. I still laugh at Toru Yano's antics. I think KES, oh man, Suzuki Gun is probably my favorite faction going in here. KES, oh my god, what a couple of freaking tanks. They just have mean, hard-hitting brawler matches. I like that they're not the champs, but I definitely like them in that title picture. I feel like they are a pretty good hurdle, hopefully for like the Young Bucks to overcome. That would be a fantastic match, and I would really enjoy watching that. Maybe who knows, maybe World Tag League. The Bucks are definitely going to be in that. Oh shoot, I didn't even think about that. That's going to be fun to cover later in the year, definitely. Now, while I haven't been keeping up as much as I'd like to have been with the New Japan Young Lions matches, I am looking forward to watching the Lionsgate project coming up here in a couple of days, and probably lump that in with the beginning Best of the Super Junior episode that I do. Just kind of extend that into one big episode, and go from there. So yeah, this is just an early feel out tester for this style. Gonna upload it and just kind of see what happens. And hopefully hope to hear some feedback. And thank you very much for listening. I do appreciate it.